So let's talk about me for a few minutes. I don't do that enough on this channel. I love Fire Emblem. Yeah, wow, shocker, I know, right? I've been a fan since the Blazing Blade was localized in 2003, and now well over half my life, warts and all. Back in 2006, when I turned 16, I dabbled in doing some ROM hacks for the GBAFE games, mainly to serve as a dual function and try and make a fun game for my friends to play, and having an inkling on how game development works, naively thinking that one day I could make it big, and did so for a solid 5 to 6 years. I made 4 projects, with only 2 of them something I'd call complete. You may already be familiar with these. The first one was an FE7 reskin called Fire Emblem 404, dubbed posthumously, and featured Elowood, Linoan of FE7, and myself as a self-insert character, bumping heads with characters from other series and some original characters in a bid to stop Reskin of Super Robot Tyson OG from crushing the metaverse. My channel got its start by hosting a chapter-by-chapter playthrough of my progress, and I amassed a small following who were interested in seeing more. A lot of it was rather tongue-in-cheek, but FE7's core story shone through. I spent 2.5 years on this one, and it can be played all the way through. Next was an FE8 reskin dubbed Fire Emblem A Sacred Dawn, portmanteau of the Sacred Stones and Radiant Dawn, as some of the RD casts were a major focus of the story and roster, with some binding blade thrown in for good measure. Set 20 years after FE404, it follows the children of my self-insert and Linoan, Julie, and Joshua Soto, who are now suddenly in Magville. The siblings team up with Micaiah and other Dominant Brigade members and a greater dose of original characters to try and stop Grotto and Begnion from doing the naughty things and freeing the Demon King while attempting to save their best friend Ruby, who's caught in the middle. I worked on this for about a year, and although I had a roadmap set for what I had planned to do, I only got to Chapter 8 before getting set by burnout and stopping altogether. Number 3 was a short FE7 ROM hack called Yuri Tanaka's Side Story. Yuri Tanaka is the protagonist of a hella obscure educational visual novel called Emmett, which I had taken an interest in some months prior. After having finished her tale in that game, she once again gets struck by the isekai bug and is sent to a warring Elib, where she meets several returning FE404 alumni, including the original trio, and of course yours truly, and has to deal with someone dragging her there against her will for the evils. It takes place during the beginning of Elowood's tale in FE7, and was meant to serve as a springboard for an FE404 reboot as a whole, just in case. It was also meant to test my mettle in creating custom events, which I was now capable of doing, and I now have the help of my best friend Josh, who helped with the script. It was a 3-month endeavor, done on my 21st birthday, only lasted 3 maps, but of the 4 I've done, it's, in my opinion, the least bad of them, and one I would semi-recommend others playing for fun. Just a heads up though, but the 3rd map is very, very long. Use save states, okay? Lastly, we have my 2nd attempt at making ASD, Fire Emblem A Sacred Dawn DX. Now armed with the power of making custom maps and a healthy dose of hindsight and self-reflection, I intended to start clean. While the cast and setting of the original ASD was mostly kept intact, I wanted to take this one more seriously, for better or worse. The only thing this one's remembered for is the big, massive amounts of dialogue put into it with no substance. After working on it for a year and releasing a 6-chapter patch, I tapped out. Listen, apart from Yuri's side story, I wouldn't call any of these very good. Crossovers were a big thing in the FE ROM hacking community back in the day, and I wanted that piece of the pie. Plus, there was a healthy dose of escapism involved. Since I was a wee lad, I've always wanted to make a game people could play and enjoy. It was a simpler time, though hindsight can be cruel and has left me to look back at these rather unfavorably. But hey, it wasn't all bad. Although I cringe at them now, they did bring many positive things into my life. If not for FE404, I wouldn't have bonded with Josh over our interest in the series, or met Melissa, who are now 2 of my lifelong friends who I owe a great deal for being such wonderful people. I wouldn't have started out my YouTube channel and met many more people I consider close friends like Ron, Steven, Cal, and Hillary, and not to mention all of my viewers who decided to stick by me over the years as I put out unimpressive but still trying to be not terrible content. Seriously though, you guys rock. And I also wouldn't have taken a more serious interest in creating original characters, which is the main focus of what I'm about to play. Although I may have gotten out of the ROM hacking game, I never lost my desire to one day tell a story involving all the characters I've made along this journey, even if it never happens to take the form of a game, or book, or heck, anything tangible in my lifetime. They may not mean anything to you, and that's fine, but they do mean a lot to me. I spent years trying to build up a colorful crew, and if you wouldn't mind listening to some guy on the internet talking about his GOC guys doing steal for a little while. Hey guys, I'm Ray, and welcome to the Raymond Chronicles. Yeah. So, this is a Fire Emblem fan game that just sort of poofed into reality a few days ago. And pretty much everyone I know who browses Serenus Forest just directed it toward me due to its content. A user by the name of, what you see there, BBHood217, has been a fan of my work since FE404, and they even did a screenshot LP of it on SF, and they wanted to pay homage to my original characters, who are the focus of this 11-chapter narrative. I think it's 11 chapters. They, did sort of use my stuff without permission, though, but they did say that they did so with the intent to surprise me, and they don't seem malicious or anything, just innocently misinformed, and I did talk to them about it, and I'm giving this the benefit of the doubt. A lot of the stuff, the sprites in here is very old anyway, and I don't really see a point of getting mad at something like those are like really old. I'm pretty chill like that, I guess. Oh, and the engine by Rainlash, you can probably tell this is not a ROM hack, though this is also not made with FEXP or FEXNA. This has been made with the Talionis engine, I think that's how it's pronounced. It's a GBAFE styled engine made by the user Rainlash, you can see there, who made their own fan game to coincide with it called The Lion Throne. I had to play a little bit of that to prepare myself for this, and I gotta say that it's been really fun so far. It's definitely worthy of having its own playthrough one day. Check it and the engine out if you're curious. The engine's open source. So, let's get on with this. There's no music, by the way. This thing has no music. It is semi-complete. Excuse me. Like, it's playable from start to finish, but BBHood is open to feedback and is looking to add a little more to it. There's no music, and although the engine supports battle animations, there are none. They recommended that I delete all of them, so I played a little bit of this to see what it was like, and then I played Lion Throne just to see what it was about. See, I'm just gonna new game this. This is intended to be played on casual, not classic mode, so I'm gonna do that. This engine supports random growths, fixed growths, and hybrid growths. Random is just general classic Fire Emblem level ups. Fixed growths are like they're kind of like what you see in Path of the Radiant's fixed mode. Like they start with a certain point value and then they go up and then they remove some points for each one. But it's just level ups are indeed just fixed. And hybrid is like kind of like how FE12 does level ups, or FE10 does level ups with a bonus experience. You gain your growths are all tallied up, and per out of 100 you gain that many stats. So if you had a growth total of 400, you will gain 4 stats guaranteed. I am going to play on pure random. In the continent of Raymond, 3 kingdoms enjoyed an era of peace. But this peace would not last. Suddenly, one kingdom experienced a change in leadership, as one of their own violently usurps the throne and asserts their dominance. Not long after, they issue a declaration of war. The 2 other kingdoms scramble to defend their lands against the sudden invasion as turmoil engulfs the continent. Yes, I am apparently a continent. Watch out, I am the Rayonis! So yeah, this is rather tongue-in-cheek. Kind of how I did stuff back in the day, where it was pretty tongue-in-cheek. But it's like the cringy tongue-in-cheek. I think this is more like, more favorably tongue-in-cheek. So like, I am on the continent, and I'm also divided into like 2 big nations, Ray and Mond. And these guys are on the Ray side, and the others are on the Mond side. Oh, plum. Totally. So I'll try to pay attention to the dialogue to see if everyone's in character or not. Yeah, this seems fine. Now, there's not much to this map right now since, well, it's just an opening, but it gets worse. So here the objective is to rout the enemy, and we lose if everyone dies. So I'm going to check the animations. This doesn't really matter what I put for animations since since the animation folder is kind of poof deleted. Also, controls. I just set these up on my own. I heard that this engine supports the Xbox 360 controller, but I couldn't get them to work properly. Like, whenever I tried to go to the controls, like the D-pad of the my Xbox 360 controller functions, but nothing else, and I can't assign any other keys. It was weird. So you can tell from the resolution of this feels right. Like, this looks like GBA Fire Emblem, has the same screen resolution as one. It's, well, I think this is by like 40 by 240. Oh, that's not right. 40 by 320. That should be right. It should be twice the size of it. And it looks good. I mean, these are stat screens. Things are not like one-to-one with GBAFE. I can tell you, I can nitpick forever about how this engine is not quite up to scratch. But you see things. You can see all the stats. You can see this engine supports skills and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff I have to talk about, mainly regarding the engine, but also regarding my OCs, just to see what we got. So let's start with Hendrik over here. So yeah, Paladin. You can also check character's growth by pressing the B button on the stat screen. You see there. Hendrik's got 70 strength, 10 magic, 55 skill, 40 speed, 60 defense, 35 res, 35 luck, 95 HP. Big guy. And his skills we got here. Kanto, Savior, Charisma, and Res +2. He be stack deal. He's also on the effect of Inspiration, so +1 damage, -1 damage. That's neat. Hendrik is a character that I added very recently to like, he was like in the last build of ASDDX. He was intended to be like this spooky looking dude, and then he just turncoats on you. But I never really got anywhere with him. He was just kind of there. I needed a face right, and that's pretty much where I got. He was meant to be like an honorable dude, and like Tuck's counterpart. But aside from that, nothing really came from it. Hey, Tuck! The Grad Knight. Yeah, that's him. Kanto Savior, Inspiration, Res +2. Looking good, kid. Tuck is, well, long and short of it, he is the, Jigen. of a Sacred Dawn was intended to be the Jigen of a Sacred Dawn DX before I decided, nah, let's not have a Jigen for that one. A cool guy. He's been like, yeah, I've been in this for a while. It's sort of my thing. He's from another country, which is why he has that turban. A lot of these OCs I don't really have much to talk about, except for one in particular, who's like one of my favorites, and someone I've worked on for years. This is kind of rough. This is kind of rough doing. I always did like Tuck. So here's Mark. Now see. Okay, now we're taking some liberties. Here's the Knight. He is Provoke. Interesting skill. After battle, hit -30, damage -2. 2 of those that attacked him, which is cool effect. He can shove, and he has movement +1. He's a feat. Oh yeah, it is. I should go text as well. So 60 HP, 5 magic, 40 skill, 40 speed, 80 defense, 30 res, 45 luck, 105 HP. Yeah, he's thick. He a thick boy. So yeah, Mark was a character I didn't really do much with. He was just in the first build of AST, and he wasn't intended to be in the second one, but he showed up like really late. He doesn't show up at all in the second build patch. He was meant to show up later. Here's Tuck. Let's see. 80 strength, 5 magic, 45 skill, 35 speed, 80 defense, 25 HP, 35 luck, 100 HP. Yeah, that's about right. Like, these are not like gross that I remember, but they should be in character for what I would expect the character to have. I never really got bothered with Hendrik since he wasn't really intended to be a playable character. Like, maybe I deigned for him to be like 1 for 1 map, but he was meant to turn coat. Spooky spoilers. Yeah, I didn't really expect him to be P and Plum are not supposed to be related, by the way. Plum is an entirely different character, and Mark was meant to be kind of like a playboy, kind of like Gatry. In Path of Radiance, but not really the same level of respect as good old Gatry. He was a lot more toned down about it, but he was much more into the I'm going to choke this point. Hey, that cute girl over there, sort of thing, rather than hey, what's that on that tree over there? Like Gatry kind of flanderizes. Speaking of Plum, here she is. Yeah, Plum's kind of an odd bird. Like, she's a really odd one. Synergy, strength +2. 65 strength, 10 magic, 70 skill, 55 speed, 60 defense, 30 res, 50 luck, 80 HP. A little more strength and defense heavy than she would normally. So Plum is kind of a pastiche on Princess Peach. That was her intention back when I designed her when I was like what, 13 years old. She was one of my oldest OCs. And she does have a sibling, but it's not Mark. Plum is basically, what if Peach had Daisy's hairstyle, sort of. It was shorter, and she spoke like a valley girl. Bam, that's it. And she just gets on the front lines because she's cool. Princesses do that. They should be. They are the hotness. I don't want to aggro those armor knights, as they also have provoke, and it made this a lot harder. I didn't really do much with Plum. she was just sort of a background character since she just showed up in FE404, and that's it. I didn't do much with her after that. Although, me and Josh and I worked like concurrently on the lore of the of our characters, my characters. He has his own that he works on as well, and we have Plum as a big shot princess in another country who works with a bunch of Pegasus Knights. Well, she was working on them for like war games and stuff, but then she decides to just, hey, let's actually take it easy. But yeah, her charm and valley girlness are kind of extremely paramount. You left then. And Russ. 65 strength, 10 magic, 50 skill, 40 speed, 60 defense, 40 res, 40 luck, 100 HP. And he's just a standard cav otherwise. Russ was pretty much meant to be, Russ and Iris are counterparts of one another. Just like even the Christmas Cavalier duo of any Fire Emblem. Got, you know, like Cain and Abel, Saint and Ken. This is the thing of, the Talionis and Lion Throne. Once you get to, like, what, levels 8, 13, and 18, you can pick a feat. There's, like, a skill bonus that you can just get, and it's just applied to you permanently once you do it. This is a neat feature, I like it. Because you just do, some min-maxing. Strength +2. Power up Russ. At first, he was kind of more on the friends to Seth, as how his character was originally conceived. But eventually, I decided to, while he does respect his senpai Tuck a lot. God, there's so many. He's not like Big Brother worship about it, and then I decided to try and write a story between him and Iris. He's just a lot more, well, the prim and proper stuff just kind of stuck through, and he's like pretty stuck up. Well, he's not like stuck up, like he's not like rude hoity-toity. He's just like, you know, a proper knight, like emphasis on proper. Like he's gotta step up for a lip and shit. And he's also like one of the few characters I actually bothered to redesign a little bit. I didn't get very far with his redesign though. I wasn't to go all the way because I did likewise with Iris, who I do have a big redesign with. But I kind of stopped halfway through because with me, I don't draw a lot. I mean, I draw a lot, but I tend to get distracted very easily. Yeah, he and Iris are meant to be the Christmas calves. Although, in recent times, they're not really the Christmas calves anymore, since Iris kind of is her own thing now. I'm going to give you Speed 2, Iris. She's a fairly fast gal. Speaking of, finally get to our desires to Mamoru. Yeah, that's, well, that's mostly right. 55 strength, 25 magic, 55 skill, 50 speed, 45 defense, 45 res, 40 luck, 90 HP. Yeah, well, she's very balanced, or she's not really supposed to be, like, balanced. She's more fast. What else is meant to be power? Iris! Out of all of the OCs here, Iris is the one I've worked on for years. Years and years and years. She got her start all the way back in, the first build of, Sacred Dawn. She actually got her start as a character that, for all intents and purposes, she was meant to be. Try and focus here, because I don't want people dying on me. Iris was, like, her design was, you could probably look at her from her face sprite. This is a really old face sprite of hers, by the way. I'm surprised that you didn't use the more recent one that I did from DX, because she does show up in DX, like in a cutscene. Let's look. Let's look. Tux should be right. I think this is like one of the more up-to-date versions of him. Maybe. I think I cleaned this one up a little bit more. Hendrix should be right. His you can probably tell is a very recent, is a much more cleaner face sprite than all the others. And different style. Mark is old. He was in the older build. Plum is very old since she was in FE404. This Russ is also, I think he was in this. This Russ was from the ASD build, not the DX build where he shows up. And I think I gave him a little more sterner look than that one. And Iris for sure. This is from the ASD build, not the old ASD build, not the, because I redesigned her like twice before I put her in DX. But yes, her base design was based off of the last from Fire Red and Leaf Green, and her name was from the last of the same game, one that's in Mountain Moon. She has a Clefairy. This Iris would run a Clefairy. She has seen the most change out of all the characters here. She's like super vibrant and exuberant. She's got a total new design and everything, and she sees herself as a fashionista. Like she loves talking about clothes and stuff, like Aboro does in FE Fates. Like those two would get along like two peas in a pod if they were ever to interact. And Iris's new recent redesign, which I just finished, by the way, like really just finished, like yesterday. I really like it. I was trying to go for a design that was meant to turn away from standard Fire Emblem Cavaliers, if I wanted to do a video game project or something, I would like to try to eschew Fire Emblem aspects as not to get in the way of their style. Just out of there, just trying to do my own thing now. Yeah, that's a good look. I like it a lot. Compared of all the characters here, she's definitely my favorite. In this map, I mean. She's not my favorite OC. You get to see her, but if you had to maybe pick like a list, she would be top 3, easy. Oh, another feat. Damn, Plum. Going places. Maybe some movement. Movement's important, right, guys? So, you may have noticed by now, but when engaging an enemy in combat, you'll notice that there is no critical. The Lion Throne, the Lion Throne, was designed with not having standard Fire Emblem critical hits in mind. The engine does support it. You can implement them yourself. However, the Lion Throne uses, if you wanted to create, you have to have the critical skill to do it, like FE4. I'm assuming this works the same way because a lot of the mechanical stuff you see here was stuff taken from the Lion Throne. Another mechanic that's also from Lion Throne, I don't think I've seen yet here, but player phase follow-ups. You can only follow up on player phase. Like your units can only follow up on player phase, the enemy units can only follow up on their phase. This was done to promote player phase combat, and it's a ballsy move, but one I respect. Like there were a couple of things I've seen in the Lion Throne. I'm like, yo, that's gotta have some balls to do that, but I totally respect that, and I believe you. And it has me interested in the game itself. Yeah, that was it. Okay, that was much easier because I didn't aggro those Armor Knights in the beginning because they also have Provoke. Incidentally, I also gave intended to give Iris a Provoke skill since she's very spirited. As well as being energetic. She would be the one like, hey, come on, let's fight. And someone like get her cross, she would be like, yeah, let's fight. Like not like Oboro levels, incidentally, but like she wouldn't have the evil eyes, but she like let's go at it. Say, what's up? What's up, soldier? No! That's bogus! Yeah, that's something you'd say for sure. Oh no! The Hime-sama, even though... oh god, she's such a rowdy girl, fuck! Not the Hime-sama, but the Hime-sama is right there. Dang. Only birthright. The way this map was structured actually reminded me of how it was a little cutscene map you see in the Sacred Dawn DX where you see like, what was it? My self-insert character going in after Winston's trying to infiltrate, what was it, Renee Castle? He's like, yo, you don't know who you're messing with, kid. Stand aside, and then my character just deep sixes Winston. Oh man, I hope we see Winston here. Winston's so cool. So yeah, that was the prologue. It was alright. Now that I know that we're not to aggro those armors, the map itself was a little barren. But I mean, it serves its purpose of introductory. But there's not much meat here, like really. But I'm not really going to like criticize it too much since this is clearly just meant to be more of a doing this for fun sort of thing, rather than like take it seriously, and that's fine. But I'm just gonna give critique anyway because that's what I do. It was okay. I think that the map needed to be a little more busy. Like the map itself, not the enemy placement. The enemy placement was like fine and stuff. I think there need to be like more like terrain for you to take advantage of for the most part, and knowing not to aggro those armor knights now was like, oof, weight off my mind. Made that map so much easier since they had provoke, and it was messing with my hit rates, and it was really annoying. But yeah, good start so far. We'll see what happens next in Chapter 1.